welcome back to the channel. Continuing on today with our manual swap of our 1994 Chevy Corvette. Today in this video we are going to go over the rear diff removal and hopefully the install. I've got a little bit more work to do to get the new Dana 44 ready to go in, but we are definitely going to get this one out today. So I'm going to do another time lapse of this, but I'll kind of show you what I am going to do to remove it. It's fairly simple at this point, but in the rear we do have to take these strut bars out. So this is normally what adjusts your camber. I have different ones, adjustable ones going in, so I'm going to remove both ends of these. Technically you just have to remove this one side on the diff, but I'm going to pull the whole thing. The axle shafts, gonna have to take the straps off from the inside of the diff side. As far as this side is, I'm gonna reuse these axle shafts, so I am gonna pull them all the way out, which I'm gonna take the wheels off, take the nut off the shaft side underneath the rotor, but won't necessarily worry about that right now. To get the diff out, we're just gonna pull these straps off of the stub axles. So we'll have to do that on both sides. Then it will loosen up our toe bars, our toe links. So 3 bolts there will come off, and then that will be free. And then all that will be holding this in will be these 2 bolts up top. So you got a bolt that runs through and a nut on the back side, and the rear diff will come out. So fairly simple. Should have this out relatively quick. And then I'll probably continue on with the time lapse of taking the CV shafts out, so I'll have to pull the wheels and tires off. As far as the knuckles go, I am going to leave the knuckles in because I'm going to reuse them. I'm going to leave the tie bar in. The dog bones up front will stay. The coilovers will stay. Sway bar link, all of that stuff will stay. A lot of people, when they're changing these out, will pull everything, which is fine. But I'm just changing the pig and everything else is staying the same. So we'll get going on time lapse and we'll come back once we have this out. All right, it is out. See, it is filthy, filthy dirty because this thing's been blowing transmission fluid out of it for a long time with it overheating. So it's got a nice layer of dust and transmission fluid stuck to it. But other than that, it's still a good diff. So we'll probably end up selling this. But see, we're clean out underneath here. I ended up not having to take the stub axles out of the knuckle. Light here so you can see. Just took the straps off, left the axle itself in there. So we'll just clean that out real nice. I've got all new U-joints going back in it. But now this is ready, minus some cleaning, to put a new diff back in it. So going to walk up front to show you what we got left to do on the other diff. Getting pretty close on it. We're going to clean up stub axles a little bit better. I did go ahead and get a new pinion seal for it, so going to yank the pinion out, put a new seal in that. Going to pull the bat wing off the back, drain all the oil. Got a new gasket for that, so you can see someone's had it apart before and put RTV on it. So we'll get all that surface cleaned up, put a gasket in. Do have to drain and fill this one as well. So do got oil for that, but we'll get this pulled apart. Got to finish cleaning it up a bit, and we'll be ready to start putting this back in. So I'll set up another time lapse and we'll go from there. Well, we got the Dana 44 all cleaned up and ready to go in. So here's the Dana 36 that came out of the car and the donor Dana 44. So a couple things to show you here what we did. Do have the Prothane harder solid bushings put in. So those are greased and ready to go, both sides. You did see earlier in the video I had the bat wing off. So I did go ahead and put a gasket in it and just a thin coat of RTV on both sides, just to kind of help hold the gasket in place while it was going together. All the bolts on the back are torqued. Also changed the pinion seal in the front. Do need to torque this still. Torque that once get it in the car, makes it a little easier. And then one other thing you probably saw me do was drill a hole and tap. So in the bottom of this, see right down here now, make sure you can see it, yep. I drilled and tapped for a pipe plug. So now I have a drain plug in the diff, and went ahead and filled it with fluid through the fill hole. So I leveled this out, filled it, made sure that it was full. Basically just as it starts to come out of that hole, you know it's full. So we'll get this slapped in there, and then I need to do some U-joints. So gonna go ahead and put U-joints on all four, or both sides, so 4 U-joints. Gonna swap those out. Then we'll get those put in the car and can start putting the new bars on the back for the camber. And we'll be pretty much done with the diff install. Then put the C-beam in and drive shaft, and it will be ready to test to make sure it shifts gears and the clutch and all that works. So just a couple hours away now from being able to start this thing up and make sure it's somewhat working. So we'll get going on time lapse of putting this back in now. Well, that's going to end it off for today. Got the Dana 44 in, the new adjustable strut rods, so we can adjust camber these. Did get on the U-joints and the axle shafts here. Those are the coated Spicer U-joints. Other than that, we will be doing the C-beam and drive shaft next. So I do need to do the U-joints in the drive shaft. So once we get that C-beam and drive shaft in, we will be able to test this thing and make sure the gears go through and have it pretty close. So after we get through with that though, I'm going to do a video on tuning. We got quite a bit of tuning we got to do yet. And then we also have to go through an alignment. So obviously we're redoing all this in the rear end is going to be way out of spec. So I will do a video on getting the thing aligned. That might come out later once it gets a little warmer out. No sense in getting this thing aligned right now when it's cold out. Wait till spring to do that before we drive it for the first time. But other than that, we are pretty dang close. Probably a couple more hours to get that drive shaft back in and be able to test everything. So we'll see you back for that in the next video.